Swadika and welcome to ASEAN Today. I'm Nattha, Komolvadhin of Thai PBS in Bangkok.
Selamat berjumpa lagi. I'm Raissa Chentami of the Indonesia channel in Jakarta, and this is your weekly look at the dynamic Southeast Asia region. We begin here in Indonesia, where frantic efforts to find a missing submarine with 53 people aboard ended in tragedy. Contact was lost with the KRI Nanggala 402 on April 21st during a training exercise near Bali. There was urgency in the search because oxygen supplies would only last 72 hours. Despite help from international partners, the sad announcement came from the government.
Pada hari Sabtu, 24 April 2021 kemarin, TNI Angkatan Laut telah menaikkan status KRI Nanggala 402 dari hilang kontak atau submiss menjadi tenggelam atau subsang.
Berdasarkan bukti-bukti otentik tersebut dapat dinyatakan bahwa KRI Nanggala 402 telah tenggelam dan seluruh awaknya telah gugur.
The submarine was found 838 meters down. Items first retrieved from the vessel included a bottle of torpedo lubricant and rescue suits. Investigators are now working to determine what caused this 42-year-old sub to sink. A special ASEAN summit was called on April 24th to deal with the ongoing conflict in Myanmar.
Leaders gathered in Jakarta in person to discuss ways to end the violence and instability in the member country. The summit included Myanmar's military leader Min Aung Hlaing. His takeover of the civilian government in early February sparked the ongoing conflict with pro-democracy supporters. Leaders reached a 5-point consensus. They included the need for an immediate end to violence, humanitarian assistance from ASEAN, and the dispatch of an ASEAN special envoy to meet with all parties concerned. We hear directly from the leaders shortly in our Hot Seat segment.
One of the most destructive storms in years hit the region, killing more than 180 people here in Indonesia. Cyclone Seroja made landfall on April 5th, bringing torrential rain and triggering floods in East Nusa Tenggara. More than 22,000 people were displaced and at least 2,000 homes were damaged. Severe seasonal weather resulted in flash floods and landslides. 40 people died in 2 landslides in West Java province in January. And at least 8 people were killed after a 6.7 magnitude earthquake struck off Indonesia's main island of Java on April 11th. The quake hit offshore about 45 kilometers southwest of Malang City in East Java. It damaged nearly 1,200 homes along with public facilities and infrastructure, including hospitals and places of worship.
Former Malaysian leader Najib Razak launched his appeal against his corruption conviction that contributed to his government downfall in 2018. The appeal on April 5th came more than 8 months after a high court found Najib guilty in the case involving the transfer of 42 million ringgit or $10 million into Najib's personal bank account. The former prime minister claims he did not receive a fair trial. He was sentenced to 12 years in prison and a $50 million fine. A Bangkok startup is inspiring new thinking in public restroom design and innovation. The company capitalizes on trends relating to hygiene and sanitation as coronavirus pandemic rages on. ASEAN Today, Karina Tasya reports.
Until recently, 70% of all public toilets did not meet World Health Organization hygiene standards. Many still don't, as they still require people to manually flush using a bowl to scoop up water with a lack of toilet paper and hand cleaner. Mr. Liu's concept is simple: to create clean, hygienic restrooms for tourists and locals in public spaces. Initially, business was slow, but COVID-19 changed everything.
Overall, pandemic was a big boost for our business. What definitely COVID-19 has done is to increase the awareness of hygiene conditions in public areas. Often you see in Southeast Asia that the toilets are not efficient and do not meet the requirements in terms of hygiene.
The company adapted and created restrooms that use special cleansers with attendants to disinfect stalls after every use. Most fixtures and equipment are controlled by sensors, and there is relaxing music playing in the background. A flowery fragrance fills the air.
We do believe this awareness, which has increased now, is something long-term. We also believe that the toilet will evolve to a healthcare center where people can enjoy much more services than only toilets.
Users can also check their health indicators such as blood pressure and body fat. This all comes at a cost of 10 baht or 30 cents, 3 times the price of regular public toilets. But in this pandemic era, it is a price many are willing to pay. Nattha for ASEAN Today.
More ASEAN Today is coming up shortly.
ASEAN leaders call for an immediate end to violence in Myanmar. They are in the hot seat next.
You're watching ASEAN Today. I'm Nattha Komolvadhin in Bangkok.
And I'm Raissa Chentami in Jakarta. It was here in the home of the ASEAN Secretariat where leaders came together for the first time in months to discuss the crisis in Myanmar. The emergency summit included Myanmar's new military leader, Min Aung Hlaing. Here's what they said following the April 24th summit.
Di dalam pertemuan tadi saya menyampaikan beberapa hal. Yang pertama, perkembangan situasi di Myanmar sesuatu yang tidak dapat diterima dan tidak boleh terus berlangsung. Kekerasan harus dihentikan dan demokrasi, stabilitas, dan perdamaian di Myanmar harus segera dikembalikan. Kepentingan rakyat Myanmar harus selalu menjadi prioritas. Kemudian yang kedua, dalam pertemuan ini saya juga menyampaikan pentingnya pemimpin militer Myanmar untuk memberikan komitmen, yaitu permintaan komitmen pertama, penghentian penggunaan kekerasan dari militer Myanmar. Di saat yang sama, semua pihak harus menahan diri sehingga ketegangan dapat diredakan. Permintaan komitmen kedua, proses dialog yang inklusif harus dimulai. Tahanan politik harus segera dilepaskan. Dan perlu dibentuk Special Envoy ASEAN, yaitu Sekjen dan Ketua ASEAN untuk mendorong dialog dengan semua pihak di Myanmar. Permintaan komitmen ketiga, pembukaan akses bantuan kemanusiaan dari ASEAN yang dikoordinir oleh Sekjen ASEAN bersama dengan AHA Center. Dan Indonesia berkomitmen untuk mengawal terus tindak lanjut dari komitmen tersebut agar krisis politik di Myanmar dapat segera diatasi. Kita bersyukur bahwa apa yang disampaikan oleh Indonesia ternyata sejalan dengan yang disampaikan oleh para pemimpin ASEAN. Sehingga dapat dikatakan para pemimpin ASEAN telah mencapai konsensus. Sekjen ASEAN telah menyampaikan 5 butir konsensus yang nanti akan disampaikan oleh Ketua atau Sekjen ASEAN. Isi konsensus isinya kurang lebih sama dengan apa yang tadi saya sampaikan dalam pernyataan nasional yang telah saya sebutkan tadi.
Ya, luar daripada jangkaan kita. Kita tak confident, tapi tak jangka bahawa mesyuarat jalan dengan baik, usul yang dikemukakan diterima, respon daripada Myanmar melalui jeneral yang hadir tadi tidak menolak. So ini satu kemajuan yang amat menggalakkan. Dalam kenyataan dia menyatakan bahawa dia kata dia akan cari jalan untuk menyelesaikan masalah itu. Ya. Jadi kita dalam masa itu kita tak tuduh dia apa. Pasal kita tak kisah siapa yang melakukan perkara itu mesti diberhentikan dengan serta-merta. Jadi bagi pihak general, saya ingat, itu kenyataan yang saya ingat, dia kata dia memang bersetuju, violence must stop. Pasal bagi dia yang buat hal ni orang sebelah sana. Tapi kita tak menyebelahi mana-mana. Jadi kalau begitu, kita harap dia akan cari jalan untuk menyelesaikan masalah itu, walaupun sebelum wakil ASEAN pergi ke Myanmar. Malahan dia kata dia bersetuju untuk menerima wakil ataupun envoy daripada ASEAN untuk datang ke sana di waktu yang sesuai, an appropriate time, suitable time kata dia. Jadi dia tak tolak, tak halang. Jadi ini memberikan satu peluang untuk ASEAN memainkan peranan utama dalam mencarikan penyelesaian pada krisis yang sedang melanda di Myanmar ini.
More ASEAN Today is coming up shortly.
We go to Malaysia, that's where a popular hotspot has reopened in the heart of the capital city.
This is ASEAN Today.
And we are coming to you this week from Jakarta and Bangkok. The COVID-19 pandemic has hit the world hard, especially those dependent on visitor business. In Thailand's resort town, the situation is desperate, with family living day to day on little food. ASEAN Today's Raissa Chentami reports.
The Thai government's measures to lock down cities, shut down businesses, restrict travel and impose curfews have resulted in a devastating loss of jobs. Without income, food has become scarce among Thailand's poor, and many of them can hardly afford a decent meal, let alone fill in their stomachs. For more than a year, May Pikunchat has cried herself to sleep. Every night she has nightmares, but she says the nightmares in her sleep are better than the reality she is living in. Every day is a struggle to find food to feed her 2 children, plus the one she is carrying. Pikunchat is 4 months pregnant. She sold boiled corn outside the bars of a now-shuttered entertainment strip in the tourist town of Pattaya. Her bank account has been drained. Her fridge is empty.
On a good day, we have 2 meals, but it's usually 1. My kids always have an empty stomach. I only eat 1 meal so that my kids don't go hungry.
For her, the government's help has been difficult to access. With each passing day, the looming starvation has become more real. Charities and the private sector filled the gaps left by the state. Food donations have become her lifeline. Under the scorching heat, hundreds wait outside in line for rice, instant noodles, and dried food.
I see the impact the COVID-19 is having on the city. The people here are struggling. I would see other companies giving out food and people would wait in line from 4 a.m., so I felt I needed to help.
After months of virtually no income, many people in Pattaya have been driven to the edge of poverty. The number of homeless has increased as businesses have closed and the economic crisis deepens. This tourist destination has become a ghost town, a scene of desolate streets and shuttered businesses. For rent, for lease signs, boarded up short fronts stretch along its streets. Thousands left desperate as they search for jobs in the town where there is none.
At a time when we are facing mass unemployment and the economy is bad, the government is not able to help every family. We contact the private sector to help with donations that are vital as the situation gets worse.
Many people have cancelled any holiday plans and opted for meals at home with their families. For Pikunchat, a dining table doesn't exist. Her fridge will remain empty and food continues to be scarce. Raissa Chentami for ASEAN Today.
Here are several events on the ASEAN calendar. Muslims in ASEAN and around the world will celebrate Eid al-Fitr on May 13th. The Obando Festival will take place from May 17th to the 19th in Bulacan, Philippines. And followers will commemorate the birth of Buddha, his enlightenment, and his death on Visakha Bucha on May 26th. With the arrival of Ramadan, the historic site of Masjid India in the heart of Kuala Lumpur has once again become a popular destination. ASEAN Today's Fawzil Azim takes us there.
The bazaar here is known as the biggest in the Malaysian capital, but was closed last year due to the COVID-19 outbreak in the country. In April of last year, when the Ramadan began, the area was in a deserted state, with several apartment buildings placed under the strictest form of lockdown. Bazaars like this were not permitted to operate. But this Ramadan is different, with dozens of areas allowed to set up in the capital. Health protocols are in place, with fewer stalls spaced farther apart, temperature checks, custom registrations and crowd control.
Alhamdulillah gembira, rasa macam back to normal balik. Walaupun kita dah ada norma baru. Kita kena pakai mask dengan SOP lah.
The bazaars are a popular feature in the month of Ramadan, enjoyed by all races and religions. People stop by afterwards to pick up meals to take home, many to break their fast. Offerings have expanded over the years to include not just Malaysian specialties, but cuisines from many other cultures as well. The cancellations of the bazaars last year was a big blow to the stall holders who bid for the right to operate here.
So tahun ni sangat bersyukurlah sebab kita dapat beroperasi kan, dapat berniaga balik semua. So alhamdulillah lah. Tahun ni sangat membantulah, dapat tingkatkan kita punya pendapatan.
Ya, tahun lepas kita hanya buat online sahajalah. Gembira lah sebab boleh cari rezeki kan, boleh keluar berniaga.
With interstate travel still banned and the number of cases of COVID-19 stubbornly high, it seems likely that for a second year, people won't be permitted to travel back to their hometowns for Eid al-Fitr. But for now, people here will just enjoy the Ramadan bazaars, a colorful tradition sorely missed the year before. Fawzul Azim for ASEAN Today.
We like hearing from you throughout the ASEAN region and the world. All of our episodes are posted on YouTube, so check us out there if you can't find us on your local TV channel. Then let us know what you are thinking or what you want to see on the program. Email us at aseantodaytv@gmail.com. Post something on our Facebook page or tweet us at ASEAN Today TV. A Malaysian badminton player is now a national hero after winning the All England Open.
That's right, Nattha, and Lee Si-jia's victory ignited Malaysia's hopes of success at the Tokyo Olympics. The young Malaysian star defeated Denmark's Victor Axelsen 30-29, 20-22, 21-9 to win one of the sport's most prestigious tournaments on March 22nd. On his way to victory, the 22-year-old also beat two-time world champion Kento Momota from Japan. The win added hope that Malaysia has found a player to continue the country's success in badminton following the 2019 retirement of superstar Lee Chong-wei. And that's ASEAN Today. I'm Raissa Chentami of the Indonesia channel in Jakarta.
And I'm Nattha Komolvadhin of Thai PBS in Bangkok. Thank you very much for watching. And please join us again next time for ASEAN Today.